Hello everyone, this is Charles BridgTec with another flashlight, or should I say headlamp, review. Now this is the probe headlamp. They have an Amazon store. They contacted me, wanted to have me test and review this product. Comes in this nice little carrying case. Really nice. You can even latch that onto your backpack or bag or whatever you tend to carry it with. Well, with no further, let's open it up, see what's in. It does have a little zipper here on it. Comes with a micro USB charging cable. Comes with 2 batteries. Now I tested these batteries. They weren't very powerful, so I highly recommend you using an OEM cell whenever possible. Comes with a user manual, and it's fold out type. No real specs on this listed, but we'll see how it does. So we'll put everything back in here for now. I'll be using a different set of batteries in my test. Let's go ahead and take a look at the light. The pack is here on the back of your head. It does have a quick release here. Batteries go in there. And before I get started here, I'm going to go ahead and bring out the batteries that I'm going to be putting to test on this light. These are Panasonic OEM cells. These are unprotected. These are 7 amp cells, so they should be plenty of power to run this headlamp. Lock that together, and on the side here you have a power button to run the back LED. That's pretty cool. Then of course you've got the charging port there. It's got some good elastic to it, so it's going to be plenty. There is a little wire here that runs along one side of your head. Of course you got 2 power buttons here. Look at all those LEDs. These ones here are in smaller. These 3 here are your main ones, and these are additional flood and your red color. This is fully adjustable. It's got like little indentations. Housing feels like it's a plastic material, so I'm not too sure how it's going to do with the heat. Now this looks aluminum here, so that's probably what the LEDs are on here. There's 2 halves that are brought together. Now this is running some older LED generation. These are the Cree XML-T6 LEDs, so not really going to go too much into those, but when I turned it on I was quite impressed. It's got a lot of light output for a headlamp. So we're going to go ahead and turn it on. We're going to use this set of buttons. You have this one here. We're going to use this button here. Turns on the main LEDs. See, now this is a cool white. It does have a little blue in the beam. Then of course you keep pushing it, it will switch to the outer ones. Just those alone there. Get my camera to focus. Then you have them all. A lot of light coming out of this, so I was quite impressed. And this unit here on your forehead is so light that you barely even know it's on. Now the batteries on the back are pretty heavy, so you will feel it there. Then of course, if you go ahead and continue on, you do have strobe, and then it turns off. Okay, so now we're going to use the other button, and we're going to run the other LEDs here. As you can see, real floody on that. Then of course you got the lower setting. See some PWM on the camera. I don't see it with my eyes though. Then of course you have red, which is pretty bright. Good for up close, reading a map, reading something in the dark. Then of course you got flashing. You can turn these on. Then with the other button you can actually turn on all the lights. So now all the LEDs are working, and you've got a lot of lights. You could see here, really nice combination beam here. It's going to be probably a little more on the floody side because of this bleeding from all these LEDs, but they do have a focused hotspot and a pretty large spill. It's going to be interesting to see how well this does. Then of course you can go through the light outputs as well as this one here, and turns off. So I was really impressed with the performance of this just to here in my house. So let's wait no further. Let's take this outside, see how it does in the wilderness. We are out here in the darkness, and I have a probe on my head. Now I know that doesn't sound too good, but it's a headlamp. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Now that's the 3 LEDs there, 35 feet to there from where I'm standing. As you can see, it is making it across the park faintly. That tree there is 65 feet from where I'm standing. There it is on the fence. So now we're going to go to the next level on this light output. Now it's going to go to the 2 side LEDs. As you see, it's a little dimmer, but it's got more of a throw on there with these 2 smaller LEDs. A little bit less light output, still making it across the park, as you can see. There it is on the Tree of Life, easily making there 138 feet. Alright, so now we're going to turn all of the LEDs on here, the main ones that is. So that's all of them there. A lot of light coming out of this. I was quite impressed with it. See the spill there? Way off to the sides. Putting it on the Tree of Life, you can see how wide the spill is. It's got some impressive throw. Now I had it on for about an hour early. I actually got another set of batteries, and it did really well. It didn't heat up too bad. It got very warm, but not hot. So that's good since part of it is plastic. Tree of Life, famous that is. We'll do a before and after. Before, after, before. Alright. So now we're going to turn this off. It's going to go to strobe. So we don't want that. Alright, so now we're done those LEDs. So now I'm going to go back over here to the water spout. We're going to do the other LEDs. Now as you can see, it's real floody. Not a huge amount of throw, but can clearly see 15 to 20 feet. And then of course, as you can see, that's about 12 feet from where I'm standing there. So now I'm going to turn it on. Goes down to the next light outputs, a little bit more easier on the eyes. But it does have some PWM on the lower light output, as you can see. Now we'll go to red. Red is great for up close and personal, but you can see about 5 feet. See that pole there lit up pretty good. So now I'm going to turn these floodlights back on. We had the blinking, of course, after that. I'm going to turn these on, then I'm going to turn all of these other lights on. Now we got them all on. So let's do a beam profile here. See how wide that beam is? And there's the hot spot there. So now, I'm just going to pan around here so you guys can see. Easily making it across the park. Water spout. There's the tree of life. A lot of light coming out of this, especially with these floods on. Got some additional spread out to the sides of you, which is nice. And of course you can adjust this downward. Before, after. And this doesn't feel bad on the head at all. It is heavy on the back, but not too bad. Alright. Now, overall, very impressed with this light. And I hope you were too. Hope you enjoyed those night shots. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed those night shots. Very impressed with the performance on this. The weight of this is pretty heavy on the back end because of the batteries, but there's literally nothing in the front. So I think what they've done is they've cut a lot of the aluminum on the housing down to a minimum with just the back plate where the LEDs are on to make this super light, which is actually a pretty good idea. Only thing I may, over time, you may see, if it gets hot enough, maybe some of the plastic maybe breaking away or melting. But this did get very warm here, but it did not get hot, even with all the LEDs on. So all these LEDs, of course, your batteries, even if you run the best batteries, they're probably not going to give you a real long run time. Now on the lower LEDs here on the outside, I would think that they will give you better run time, as well as these floodlight being on. You're going to get a little bit better run time, so you can kind of play with it a little bit. But as far as performance, I can't say anything bad about this. Now, this is plastic, so some people might have a little bit of issues with that, but I'm not seeing anything with durability. I think this is going to do well. Now, again, I want to thank Probe for sending me this light to review. Now, if this is something you are interested in getting, remember, this is a complete kit. Only con I have with this is the battery. You know, the batteries that are included are not very good. So if you do have an extra set, or if you buy a good set of batteries, this thing should do really well for you. Now, I'll leave a link down in the description area where you can get this. I'm also working on a discount code, and if I do get it, I'll put that in there with the link. That way you can save some money on this, should you be interested in getting it. Well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this headlamp review. If you did, please share, like, and subscribe. That way I can bring more of these type of headlamp kits, budget that is, to you in the future. Thanks for watching. Take care.